The Grammys, I know, never gets old for you. The night of this, it's like it is music's night.
What up, what up, what up, what up, y'all? I am your girl Candy, and I'm about to speak on it.
I had already heard.
I can turn a shade tree into a money tree. Oh, I dropped a bomb this week.
While on the red carpet at the Grammys last night.
I dropped a bomb this week.
The question on everybody's mind is what's happening in Atlanta, and are you going to be back?
I mean,
I'm thinking I might just say,
okay.
She revealed she is chunking up the deuces to the Real Housewives of Atlanta after 14 consecutive seasons.
How do I even begin? So, honestly, I don't even know where to begin. I don't know what to say. I'm pretty sure everyone already knows, you've heard, that I've decided not to come back this season for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I can turn a shade tree into a money tree. I wanted to do my own video on my page, even though I already said it on the red carpet at the Grammys.
Okay, I'm going to drill down. Are you making an announcement right now that you are going to take a break from Atlanta?
now you done put the pressure on. But I guess, yeah.
So, I didn't even have a plan at how I was going to tell the world. I did not have a plan. I didn't know how I was going to say it. I didn't know if I was going to wait and do it as a reel, because y'all know I be having all these, skits and stuff I do. I didn't know if I wanted to do that. I don't know. I just didn't know how I was going to say it. You know how when you make a huge decision and you got to share it with everybody, but you just don't know how to share it? That's kind of what I was going through, basically. I knew I was going to have to host the red carpet live from the red carpet at the Grammys. And last year when I did that, I ended up doing red carpet after I finished hosting. So, I knew I was going to end up having to do the same thing this time, but I was just kind of trying to figure out okay, well, what do I say when people ask me about RHOA? And I was like, okay, well, I could be kind of elusive and try to act like you have to see, you have to watch, and do that whole BS. But I don't know. Me and my husband, we had talked about it, and we was like, well, no, maybe it's, maybe we shouldn't tell everybody just yet or whatever, because I had not told my mama. I had not told my friends.
It's like, what?
Shut up!
I had not told anybody. I did tell people that I wasn't sure. I had been kind of alluding to that that I was feeling that way. Basically, I was telling people that was close to me yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, but I never actually told anybody that I finally, made a decision. I'm definitely not going back. So I was just kind of okay, to say it on the red carpet would not be the move, because you haven't even told anybody that's close to you. But needless to say, I did. Reason why I did was it's hard for me to be faking, lying, making up something when I already know what the deal is, So Jay-Z said it best. When I get nervous, I tell the truth.
No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth.
So when I hit the red carpet, the first person that I really saw that, she was like, oh, come on, let's talk or whatever. And I was like, okay. It was a friend of mine, Nichelle. She's one of the hosts for E.T. And she was, at first she was just asking me general questions, and it was real easy just to, roll with it. She's, oh, what you up to? Oh, you did the red carpet. Oh, you working on the Wiz. We talking about all those things. And then she was like, so can you give me some secrets or some, I know you guys are been trying to figure out the cast for Housewives. And I just was kind of I can't sit up here and lie in her face I don't know what, at least, I don't know what they gonna do about everybody else, but I already know what I'm gonna do about me. And I know I'm not coming back. So that's why I was just like, I'm not gonna lie to her. Yeah, I'm not coming back. I'm gonna take a break. And then she, was like, wait, what? It almost went past her for a second. She was like, wait, is this an official announcement? And are you taking a break or are you just not coming back? And I just was like, I'm not coming back. And the reason why I said that is because I kind of know me. I know me as a person. I kind of know how, when I'm moved on from something or if I let go of something, I really let go. I love my Bravo family. Let me just say that. I definitely feel like I have been supported over the years on the show. I definitely can say, all them spinoffs, and well, not all of them were spinoffs. There a lot of them were specials. All of those shows that we did together outside of Real Housewives, plus the 14 seasons that I did with Real Housewives. I saw somebody post and they were like, oh, let's not act like Kandi didn't give us 21 seasons of great television. And I said, ooh, damn, that sound long. 21. But then when I went back and counted, they were correct. I had 7 other specials and other series on Bravo outside of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, which is kind of super cool to me because it's some housewives that don't even be on Housewives for 7 seasons. So to have 7 other shows outside of the Real Housewives that I've been a part of, it's just, it's a big deal to me. It's major to me. I took in all those things and making this decision. It's probably was I won't say it was the hardest decision I've ever made, but it was a hard decision for me. They did ask me back. For those who probably thinking oh, they didn't ask her back, No, they did ask me to come back. So it wasn't like that. It wasn't. They still was offering me a cute coin, honey. So it wasn't like that either. It wasn't about the money. I just felt like it was a mixture of things. And more so than anything, I think it was the time that they kind of had us lingering. Because normally, I never really have time off, right? Normally, I have I go from one show to another. For most of the years, I go back to back shows, you know what I mean? So 1 year it was, Escape show right after Real Housewives, back into Real Housewives, it was no breaks in between, or it'll be, my family show, or it'll be something that I'm doing in between. So it's never really time off. The only time I felt like we kind of had a little bit of time off was when the pandemic started, right? So even when we finished filming, we're still doing green screen. So a lot of times I just kind of feel like I'm just going and going and going, and it's almost like on autopilot. So this particular year, when we finished filming in, what was it, August? I have been filming a whole entire year. And what I mean by that, I went from the Escape show into Housewives, and then, green screens or whatever. And then, the show was airing or whatever. So we stopped filming, with Bravo around that time. And they had already told us that they were going to take a few months because they wanted to, change up the cast and all this other kind of stuff. And I wasn't really tripping about it because, everybody always be like, oh, Kandi, you cool. You ain't got nothing to worry about it. You da-da-da-da-da. And I was and I was just trying to, and I kept saying to people, I was like, y'all, because everybody was like, did you get, talking about this pickup letter. Typically what happens is you finish the season and the network decides if they want to bring you back. And when they do, they send you a pickup letter, right? In my case, my agreement was up this year. So it wasn't just them sending me a pickup letter. It was really, I had the opportunity to make a decision for myself of if I want to be picked up. Do you get what I'm saying? I would always say that to, a friend or other people when they say that, but I guess everybody just kind of assumed that I would automatically just want to go ahead and go with it if In fact, they decided they still wanted me to be a part of the season. During the time off, in the beginning, I probably would have just went on into autopilot and just moved forward. But after the first 2 months passed, they were like, oh yeah, there still hasn't been a decision made. So I was like, okay. I did a couple of projects. The Wiz started on the road, so I was out promoting that, loving that. I started getting back in the studio, loving that. Spending time with my mom, my kids, all of that, loving that. Oh, I was still doing shows in my group Escape. Then came into right before the holidays, because I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna let us know what we're doing, before we go into the holidays. And they still didn't say anything. So at that point, I was kind of like, I'm kind of enjoying what I'm doing. I had did a couple of big deals in that period of time. I'm not telling you my business, but pretty big check came in. A couple big checks outside of what I do with them. So I was like, I'm really enjoying making money and not stressing. And then I know you guys have saw, that I have been hanging out with the girls more. We have been getting along, not arguing, because it ain't no pressure.
What girls? You're
No, what I'm saying, yeah, there was ex-members.
Because you haven't kicked it with none of the Kenya's it.
No, Kenya's the only one that I really...
Marietta.
Kenya and Marietta, but that's my dog. I ain't talking about the other couch. I'm not talking about the other couch. I'm talking about, whether it be Kenya Mayetta, whether it be Portia. Like, we have hung out more in these last few months off camera and literally actually had fun together and then had to sit there and worry about, okay, pressure, or is this about to be some drama? Is this going to be some negativity? What's about to happen? It's
Empire about to fall.
It's like a whole, an uneasiness that happens when you're filming that I didn't really even have to worry about in these, yeah, kind of and not, you know what I mean? Anyway, but my point is, it has been an enjoyable time, a very enjoyable time. And my husband, Todd, and I have been, making plans for some other things. Then at the top of the year, it's so crazy. It seemed like I was able to do all the stuff all the mommy and daughter duties I was supposed to do. My mom had to get cataract surgery. I was able to take her and get her eyes, fixed and be there for her when she come out of there. Riley had her eyes corrected because, child, we can't see, honey. I had LASIK in 1999. Y2K, right before Y2K. And my poor child got it from me. She can't see, so she had to get her eyes corrected. So I was able to take her. I was able to take Ace and Blaze to their annual appointments. Ty had to get dental work. Like, I was doing like real mommy duties, and I was loving it. I was like, nah, I know this ain't got nothing to do with making money. But it was things that I probably wouldn't have been able to be there for every one of those things had I not had the little extra time on my hands. So I'm just giving you a little example of some of the things I've been doing. I've been in the recording studio more, obviously. I post sometimes when I'm in there. I don't post all the time, which, music definitely fulfills me. My husband and I, we're about to celebrate our 10-year anniversary, planning to go back to Africa to celebrate.
Of course.
And like he's about to throw up.
Yo. You know that you're going to marry.
I am.
Yeah. He is with you. He's going with you everywhere. He's like your man. You?
No.
But we're going to do that before our actual anniversary. So we're going on vacation again during the anniversary because the kids are on spring break. Then my group, we performing for Lovers and Friends. Got to get ready for that. We also have a tour that's supposed to be coming that we're putting together. I can't announce yet, but it's coming together. As well as Riley's graduating in May. My birthday's in May. I'm supposed to be going on a China trip with Ace and the kids. Those are some of the personal life things that are outside of business things that I also have going on that I can't wait to announce.
I guess to be clear, it's not because they took too long.
No, it is because they took too long. And the reason why I say because they took too long is because typically I just go on autopilot, right? I just do, if I go ahead and agree to do something, then I go ahead and do it, even though, everything in my life is just kind of like almost like turned upside down because I never have time for myself. I never have time to do anything. Over having the time off, being able to accomplish things and have successes, because like, okay, shout out to my girls, Tammy. We had our Christmas movie came out in December and it did really well over there. Shout out to BET. Love y'all. Then, in the summer, we had The Past come out. It did really well. Shout out to Peacock and Bravo. Even the movie with, Snoop Dogg, it killed for Amazon. Those things coming out, all of them dropping during the time I'm having my break, seeing those successes, knowing that those are in the fields that I really want to be in, it's like, okay, I could be doing more of those things. If I didn't have that time to just sit around and think, because, more... It's like when you just go, you just, sometimes you do things just because you're in the routine of doing them.
You're a creature of habit.
Yeah, I'm definitely a creature of habit. And I've been doing it for 14 years. So it was weird for me to think about myself not doing it. But during that time, I was like, you know what? Life's still going to be good, even if I don't do it. And, all these other women have gone, come back. So if there was ever a thing where I needed to come back or I necessarily wanted to come back, I guess I probably would still have the same opportunity to come back just like everybody else. So I was like, why not take this time to just say, okay.
So your royal oats?
He could not be at all serious about you. Akeem came to America to sow his royal oats.
Sow your royal oats. Is that what I'm doing? I guess I am.
Excuse me, I need to be alone for a moment.
If I didn't have that time, I probably would have just went ahead and signed on and did whatever they wanted me to do. And I would have still been working, don't get me wrong, but it would have took away from time that I would have been able to try out some other stuff that I wanted to do. That's all. I do look at other things, like, right? Like, I've seen y'all comments, not everybody's, but I've seen some of the people's comments where they be like, oh, it's time for Kandi to go. It's time for Kandi to do this, da, da, da. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? Maybe it is time for me to just take a break. Maybe it is. Let them miss me a little bit. How about that? I think the thing that I was, I guess, scared to be away from more is our Bravo fans, because our fans go hard. You know what I mean? And I do appreciate the love that they give and the support they give to me. But then, if they truly support, they gonna keep supporting, right? And that's what I hope y'all do. Because I got other things coming that I really would love for you all to continue to watch. You gonna be proud of me. That's all I got to say. Somebody told me that a lot of people thought that I shocked the network on the carpet. No, my agent actually had sent them a letter earlier in the week. It was a nice note, just telling them, I appreciated them and I thanked them, for all the years and, appreciate the relationship, but we decided to move on. They got that, and then either the next day or the same day, Andy called me. Now, Andy did make me a little teary-eyed. I ain't even gonna lie. Because when he called me and Ty, we was out on we had went to lunch. We was having a little date, celebrating really. And Andy called and he was like, what the fuck? And I was like, what the fuck? What? Because I'm like, I didn't know if he knew yet. Like if the letter, clearly he knew. And I was like, yeah, well, it's time. Like, it's just my time, And then he was like, I don't know how I feel about this, it's just going to be weird. You're just going to be gone. How do we do this? Like, we need to come up with a way to tell the people, like, what is our plan? Like, do we do a send-off? Should we do, like, something showing all of your best moments? And I was like, nah. I was like, we ain't got to do all that. I'm just gone. He was like, I don't know. It just feels so crazy. He was like, I miss you. And then he started telling me all the things that he's appreciated that I've done. And he said some of those things on his radio show.
Kandi announced last night on the Grammy red carpet that she's not going to be returning to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Incredible run. And you think about how much she not only went through on the show, but brought to the show.
He was just running back, all the things that I've done to help and be supportive, business and being in partnership with them. And
she brought us Bolo. She brought us The Dungeon. Bedroom Kandi, Don Juan, the Old Lady Gang. I mean, it goes on. And
all those things. He was just saying how much he appreciated me and what I brought to the table. And then he started doing all that, child. My eyes started watering up.
She was always very true to herself. She wanted to be the best. She has been one of my favorite people to work with in my whole time.
I was like, oh, Andy, now why you got me over here teary-eyed? Because when I made my decision, I really was kind of like, cool, okay, this is what I'm doing. Matter of fact, it was just kind of like, okay, this is what it is. This is what I'm doing. But when he started doing all that, it started making me tear up. I was like, man, like, why are you doing this? But I do love my relationship with Andy. People will be saying whatever they want to say, but I personally love Andy. Just to give y'all a little clarity how we built a relationship over time. I remember in the very, very beginning when I was just coming into the thing. Now, y'all always know I've been more of a business person, and I always try to see what's the opportunity in an opportunity. So I came up with these show ideas at the time. It was one show I did was for Candy Coated Nights, and one show I did was for what ended up being the Candy Factory. And I reached out to him and I was like, hey, I got these ideas. Oh no. Let me tell y'all, I had another idea before that.
Before Candy Factory.
Yes. It wasn't an idea for myself. I had another show that a friend of mine, well, actually, y'all know it, DJ M, Melissa, and my other friend Lisa, which y'all don't know because she's not a public figure, she's more like a producer. Anyway, they had this concept. It was called My Secret Society. It was about like the underground lesbian and bisexual scene here in Atlanta. Now, mind you, everybody's seeing like bisexual and fluid nowadays, but you got to imagine like 14 years ago when I first came on the show, everybody was a little bit more quiet about their life, and I thought it was a dope concept. So I took it to Andy and I was like, hey, like, I really think you guys should think about doing this show on the network. Me and Andy our relationship was new at the time, and he saw it and he was like, you know what? I like it. I don't know if it's for us, but this is what I'll do. I'll connect you with the team at Oxygen. And he did. And at the time, I didn't really know. I'm one of the type of people that I can get myself in the door. Once I get in the door, I can make the play because I always work with quality stuff. But I tell you that story because Andy tried to help me even though he was just getting to know me. And he put me in position to make more, to add another thing to my resume as a television producer. And even though the show didn't come out for you guys, it was just simply the fact that he put me in position. You have to respect somebody when he wasn't getting anything out of it. It wasn't going to pay him. I'm a black woman, single mom at the time, new on the show. I wasn't as close to him as, I guess Nene and Kim were at that moment. But he still saw potential in me and what I was trying to do. And he was trying to help put me on. I appreciated that. And after that, we just kind of kept in communication.
I feel like when you call me when something's wrong or when you have an idea or whatever, I feel like I tell you straight how I feel.
I feel like, as it pertains to me, I can't speak for anybody else, but you've been great to me.
We have a good relationship.
Yeah, I feel like, you give me advice when I want advice. You never not taking my call. Like, you're busy. Of course. Right,
well, I would always take your call.
What I'm saying is for your position to be so, the man in charge, whatever.
Well, guess what? You're important to me. So of course I take your call. Yeah.
Make me feel good.
Yeah.
I would always come to him with ideas when I had them. Some, obviously, next time I came around, I had the idea for Candy Factory and Candy Coated Nights, go on and on and on for there. When in 2020, he was no longer an executive at the network, and I don't think people understand that he was associated with the network. That's why I say I feel like I will always be associated, but he wasn't an executive at the network. He had his show Watch What Happens Live.
During the summer of 2020, which was a reckoning
with social unrest and George Floyd and all that, and everybody was trying to figure out how to get the networks involved and all that stuff, I came to him first, and I was like,
she wrote such a thoughtful letter to all of us at Bravo, and truly original.
It's a lot of stuff that needs to be changed. We need to, how do we go about, and then he was like, well, I appreciate you coming to me and you're right, blah, blah, blah.
With some really valid and true thoughts.
When, he was open to hear me, and I said to him, I'm going to send this letter to this network and I'm going to need you to back me up. So when people be hating on him, trying to say, oh, he's this or he's that, don't believe the hype. I mean, he may not be perfect, but he definitely has tried to look out. As for me as a Black woman, and for the things that I've tried to do to push things in a positive direction for us as Black people, he's definitely supported, not just where everybody can hear it, not just so he can say it for television, but behind the scenes as well. I will always, that's a relationship that I take from this, and I plan to continue and continue to show him love like he shows me love. I appreciate him in so many ways. So there's a lot of things that I could tell y'all, honey, from behind the scenes that you guys did not know. Maybe we would do that. Maybe we go back throughout the years and tell people a little bit of tidbits of things that would be interesting that they may not have known. What the fuck was I thinking? Like he said, what the fuck? I thought it was kind of funny. Like I said, I didn't tell my mom before I left. Didn't know what she was going to say. But when I got back to my phone, because, my phone was blowing up the day that the announcement was made, and my mom said she was proud of me. And I was like, what? Because, and it was shocking. Like, I saw a few people say that. I mean, I never really thought about this as being a decision that you have to be proud of, for instance. I guess it was, or whatever it was about my decision to leave, it definitely made my mom proud, and a few other people that I saw. I just hope that you guys continue to support, continue to watch Kandi online on YouTube. Follow me on all socials, because I'll be giving you more behind the scenes on my Snapchat and my other platforms. Facebook, we're going to be doing more content and funny ass skits for you to be able to watch. I mean, y'all already know I do a lot of social media, okay? I'm going to continue to do that. So you'll still be able to see my life. You'll just have to see it in a different way, okay? And also, my relationship with Bravo isn't done. I will give you more information in the coming weeks. I just had to tell you guys to stay tuned. That is all I have to say today. Stay tuned. Like, I'm always be a part of the Bravo family. I support the other girls. I want the show to continue to be successful, because I don't want to be attached to nothing that's whack. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, yes, I'm no longer on the show, but it's still going to forever be attached to me in a way. So I wanted them to be successful. Hello. Because I feel like I will forever be tied to it in some kind of way, where people always connect me to the shows.
I just want you to give a quick answer.
Okay.
Your funnest moment.
My funnest moment. I think having Bolo out there. Where were we? In South Carolina? No, in Charleston. I think having Bolo on that trip was hilarious. Before everything went to hell,
I'm hearing sex noises coming from a bedroom.
we had a good ass time. The girls were having fun. Like, it was like a real party. People were letting their hair down. We were really enjoying ourselves. That was just one of the fun moments.
Okay, I think I know this one. The happiest moment.
The happiest moment. I mean, I guess, obviously being married to Todd.
You met him on
I met him on the show, but y'all didn't get to see it. It was behind the scenes.
part of the process.
Okay, well, my happiest moment was the trip to Africa. How about that? That's why I'm going back. I just kind of feel like, I feel like I made the right decision. I got a lot of positive feedback. I honestly didn't know if people was going to care or not. But it's good to know y'all do.
You stole the red carpet.
I was not planning to do that.
Texting you. I didn't even know what was going on.
I honestly felt, I saw you text me. Then I was like, she clearly don't really see it. He saw what I said.
Somebody asked me recently, they were like, well, why do you keep doing it?
Yeah, who was the friend?
Which friend?
You said on the red carpet that you were talking to your friend and they said, why do you want to do this?
Oh, it actually was a friend, and I don't want to get them in trouble, so I don't want to say, because I don't want people to be like, now why the fuck would you say that to her?
I kept asking.
You always was trying to get me to leave. Jamie was always trying to get me to
I
leave.
wasn't trying to get you to leave. I would ask the question to make it make sense. You got to hear yourself try to make sense out of why would I be. And I think you finally had time to sit and listen to your thoughts.
Yeah, I was definitely listening to my thoughts. But anyway, in a conversation I was having, in the conversation, she just was like, so, what makes you keep wanting to do this after 14 seasons? And I was like, well, basically because I've been doing it for so long. And then I thought to myself, like, is that a reason? Is that a reason?
What would your suggestions be with dealing with a cast? Like, what would you want production to do? Make people find a life?
Okay, so I was talking to a friend that, through the grapevine was being considered for the show. And I told her to be yourself and just not care what other people think and just have fun with it. Overall, don't be overproducing yourselves. So what I mean by that is, I feel like the show has gotten to a point where the girls care so much about their image, their brand, basically what people think, that they put on a different person on the show than who they really are off camera. And I think to myself sometimes that if people really were able to hang out with you guys off camera, they would love you so much more, because y'all are so much fun off camera than you are on camera.
Well, you can't. That's asking someone to accept their flaws, and that's therapy. And we can't make someone want to be real.
I think people get in their own heads about what somebody's gonna think about something or how this is gonna affect my brand. And I think what I found, what worked a long time ago, is that people really like the flaws in all. They like when you're kind of flawed. They like when you're a little crazy.
It's organic.
Yeah, they appreciate the moments that you do stuff that's out of the box and that may not be of the norm. Yeah, I would say stop trying to produce yourself.
Well, they get caught up. They're gonna get caught. It always comes back around when we see who's fixing the narratives and producing. So it messes up the flow of the group.
I think they're gonna be fine. Just have fun, and if you have to read a bitch, read a bitch.
Wait a minute.
And it's always tough. Like, people be like, oh, we need real friends on the show. Well, that's why real friends fall out on the show. Because in real life, I don't have to hear what you had said when you was at your house talking with your mama. And if I did something you didn't like and you over there talking shit about me to your mama, I don't have to hear that. But on this show, I'm going to hear that. And so it really makes relationships fall apart. Which sucks. And this year I just didn't sign up. Some people say you do it for the money or whatever, but Like I said, I was making a good coin on the other things I was doing too. Yeah. Money is relative, right? Yeah, I'm one of those type of people that y'all know I try to live below my means. Like I do. I spend a lot of money on the things I want to do, like the jobs, the staff and stuff like that. But if I didn't want to work, I could just not do nothing and I'll be good. Damn. So it's not about the money, and I'm not trying to brag on any money or anything like that. I just I want y'all to understand that it wasn't about a money thing.
I have other responsibilities, especially lately with my group. Sometimes opportunities come up that just can't turn down, you know what I mean? For me right now, I feel like I'm still in a building stage. You do? Yes.
Girl, you are inspiration. You are what people... The empire's been built from the outside looking in.
From the outside looking in, but it's like, to me, I always say it's easier to have never had it than to have it and lose it. When you get that feeling of having something and losing it,
that's the word.
Then you be like, once I get it back, I'm never letting it. You feel what I'm saying?
I just feel like it's just time. So with that being said, my new motto is I'm doing what I want to do and not what I got to do. Thank you for watching. Speak on it. Oh yeah, sidebar. I decided to pull out one of my interview jackets for y'all. Give you a little nostalgia for the Real Housewives. Just a little bit.
No, that's cute. You look good. You look gorgeous. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
But here you come. Only for yourself. I'm over it.
See y'all later.
Everybody want to be Kandi.